Educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier is our mission. So let's begin. Hey, health warriors. This is episode number 88 of the Life, Strength, and Health podcast. Kim here. Thank you for joining us this week. And this week's episode is all about the company that you keep. And before we dive into what this is all about, if you haven't done so already, make sure you listen to episode number 87, where we interview Baratunde and Kaya of the Forgotten Foods Remembered. That was such a great interview. We had so much fun talking with them, and make sure you tune into that because there's a lot of great information in there, and you can hear about all the great work that Kaya and Baratunde are doing in Belize, Central America, and their amazing company, the Forgotten Foods Remembered. So if you haven't done so, just go to lifestrengthandhealth.com/87 to tune into that episode. So now let's segue into this week's organic food for thought. And this week's organic food for thought is on colon hydrotherapy. Colon hydrotherapy is the gentle infusion of warm filtered water into your large intestine, also known as your colon. It helps to remove waste, undigested food, and other toxins from your colon. It is a very safe and effective treatment. When you think of your colon or your large intestine, think of it like the root of your body, and all the organs and systems, they rely on your colon to work properly so that your colon can eliminate that waste and toxins from your body. And a major part of your immune system is in your colon. So that's another reason why you want to have a properly functioning colon. But through poor lifestyle and diet, stress, these things can inhibit your colon from working properly. So if you are not at least having one bowel movement a day, this is something that you want to work towards. You know, your colon is a muscle, and colon hydrotherapy actually strengthens your colon. It's not like a laxative where you can become reliant on it. A lot of the over-the-counter laxatives are stimulants, and if you continue to take them to move, you can cause irreversible damage to your colon. So you definitely do not want to take those on a regular basis. They should not be taken every day like a multivitamin in order to get you to move your bowels. Colon hydrotherapy, though, through the process and during a session, when you expel water and waste from your colon has to work. So it's like, a mini workout for your colon at the same time. Generally, when you come for a colon hydrotherapy session, whether at Life, Strength, and Health or any other health center that you go to, you generally will have to fill out a health history intake form and receive a consultation. And at Life, Strength, and Health, we do not recommend the same amount of colon hydrotherapy sessions for each person because everyone is different. Everyone's health needs are different. So when you come into our office, one of the things that you will know before you leave is how many sessions we recommend and the frequency. And after you do a series of colons, if you've never done a colon hydrotherapy session, it's recommended to do a series. And as I mentioned, we always, through our assessments, determine how many we recommend to you. After you complete your series, then we recommend that at least once every change of season, you do a colon hydrotherapy session for maintenance. But if you've never done a colon hydrotherapy session, I would say give it a shot. Give it a try. A lot of clients at our Wellness Center, Life, Strength, and Health said they're very relaxing after their first session. They can't wait for their second one because the units that we use are very relaxing. It's very non-invasive. They're private. And it's just, we create an overall relaxing, warm, and nurturing environment during your session. So if you never have one, I recommend that you try it. Colon hydrotherapy is such a great modality to incorporate living a holistic lifestyle. We use it in our programs to make them more effective. And we certainly have clients that come in on their own. If they're doing their own program or they feel that they need one, they come in as well. So if you've never had a colon hydrotherapy session, or it's been quite a while since you've had one, then I highly recommend, if you are a good candidate, that you visit a colon hydrotherapy center or colon hydrotherapist and get a colon hydrotherapy session this month. Okay. So now let's segue into this week's episode. And the title of this week's episode is The Company That You Keep. And this episode is another mindset episode because I feel that this is so very important when striving to reach your health goals. And when you're working towards improving your health, one area that often gets overlooked is the people that you surround yourself with. You know, there's a saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Because oftentimes we become like the people we hang around. You know, I can remember growing up how my parents, there were certain friends or certain people that I was around that you could just tell that they maybe didn't care too much about them for whatever reason. But as a parent, you're always looking at who your children are hanging around because there are influences. And the same thing holds true as adults. Even though we are adults, if you're hanging around negative people most of the time, you will become negative. If you're hanging around people who eat poorly or do not care about their health or lifestyle, ideally, that is going to rub off on you. And in terms of having a support system, if you're hanging around people who are not there to challenge you and push you, especially in those times of needs, when you're reaching an obstacle or a shortcoming, and instead of them uplifting you and helping you and pushing you through maybe a challenge that you're having, they're just letting you be and just letting you fall back into old patterns of behavior. You know, it's not a horrible thing, but ideally, it's really in those times that you want those friends that are there to remind you why you're on a certain path, remind you of the goals that you said you wanted to accomplish, and that, you know what, this is just a little storm that you're going through, but you know what, it's worth the sacrifice. It's worth being disciplined. Even better, if your friend said, you know what, I'll do this with you as well. Because a lot of times our friends and the people around us, we lean on them for support. We share our successes, we share our challenges. And as I mentioned, it's so important for the people that are around you to support you and encourage you on your health journey. But unfortunately, there's times when maybe that circle that's around you is not supportive. They're not health conscious. They don't want to see you grow. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, it's the crabs in the barrel, because when you start to change and grow, your frequency changes and you start to become a better person. And for some people, that can be intimidating. It could be difficult for them to relate to you. And a lot of times people don't want to offend their friends, or they don't want to be uncomfortable. So then they kind of step back and lower themselves in a sense to make it just so that you can get along better. But you really have to be truthful to yourself. And I always say, in order to achieve success, no matter what area of your life, you cannot remain the same person that you are at this current moment. You have to keep growing. You have to keep building and improving. And that just makes life worth living. When you continue to put yourself in uncomfortable positions where you need to step up and grow, that's what makes life more enjoyable. That's what lights the fire under you. Putting yourself in different situations where you have to step up and grow, where you are nervous. You don't want to get caught in a rut. Like, remember the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, time to make the donuts, you know, wherever you get up Monday, you just drag in. You don't want your life to be like that. So in order to do that, you have to continue to grow. And in order to grow, you cannot remain the same person that you are. And in terms of your friends, you still love them. It's not like you're better than them. But if they cannot be supportive, you really must be honest with yourself to say, can I continue to be around this energy and continue to grow? And if the answer is no, then maybe limit your exposure to those friends, or you may have to have a different type of friendship where you're not as connected, and that's okay. If you currently do not have that support system that you would like, you can always build one. And there's so many different ways, depending on your personality type. If you're introverted or extroverted, that is okay. You can still build that support. One way is you can always make new friends, right? Find people that have the same interests with you in terms of health, because there's going to be a certain excitement and frequency that you on. And it's always great to have somebody walking that same path with you, because it keeps you motivated and moving forward. You can also go to meetups. Like meetup.com, I believe, is a site I always hear. But there's meetups for various potlucks and things of that nature, depending on what health program that you're working on, and so on and so forth. But you can always go to meetups and meet like-minded people. You can join support groups, which is kind of like a meetup, but support groups as well. That is always great to be around like-minded people, because success begets success. Okay. Also, coaching and mentorship. If you would like more of a one-on-one type of support at our Wellness Center, Life, Strength, and Health, that is what we do. We provide the education, support, and accountability for you to reach your health goals. And we plug you into our system, and we do check-in calls where we have our office assistant, Olivia, reach out to our clients weekly to make sure that you're okay. Do you have any questions? We have you come in for periodic visits to check in with us and make sure that you're okay, and we're there for you. So having that direct support through mentorship and coaching is also a great option. Also, you can have friends in your head. I love that saying. But you can have people in the health arena, in the health industry that you resonate with, that you love their message and what they teach and what they're all about. You can definitely follow them on social media. If they have a podcast, just like we have our Life, Strength, and Health podcast, tune into that podcast, tune into that YouTube on their YouTube channel, on their Facebook or Instagram. Stay connected with those people, because people are always teaching, and you can get valuable lessons through those avenues as well. Facebook groups are also great. There are thousands of Facebook groups now, and you will definitely find a tribe that you resonate with if you search and ask around. That's also a great area to get some support. Books are also a great way to get knowledge and support. I love reading stories of inspiration and people reaching achievement. And there's certainly tons of books out there that will keep you in an energy. Have that friend in your head. And in those moments when you feel alone, these are things that you can turn to. And also, health retreats or events are such a great way to connect with like-minded people, be in that element of health, learn some new things, and make new friendships to build that support system around you. You can do one of these things, or you can do all of these things that I mentioned. The more that you do, the better, because it's really about staying in that energy of health, raising that frequency of the people around you. If you're not able to have an immediate support system that is aligned with where you're going, that is quite okay. You can still reach your health goals, but it's important to feed yourself, to continue to improve yourself, continue to improve your friendships and relationships, because they do matter. People that you spend your time around, it does matter, because there's certain habits that will certainly rub off on you, and your habits will rub off on others. I am in no way saying that you should cut off your family or maybe people in your life that health is not a priority. I'm certainly not saying that. But what I am saying is be more conscious and aware of who you spend most of your time with. Really evaluate that, because it does have an impact on you. And it is certainly easier to move forward to achieve your health goals if you're around people with like-minded goals, people who are positive, who want to continue to improve, who put themselves in uncomfortable positions. Being around that type of energy keeps you moving towards what you want to accomplish. But when you're around maybe people who do not feel the same as you, certainly you can still reach your health goals, but it will be more difficult. And if you are in a situation, like I said, that maybe your circle is not so supportive, do not let that be a reason why you don't achieve your goals. Counterbalance that by getting mentorship and coaching and support. Join support groups. Go to meetups, meet other like-minded people that are moving on the same path as you are, and to build that additional tribe that can help you and help you sustain your actions, keep you moving in the right direction. Ultimately, the work must be done by you, but it certainly helps to be around like-minded people vibrating at a high frequency to keep you on the path. So thank you for listening to this week's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, but most importantly, you receive value from it. And for access to the show notes pages of this episode, where I will list episode number 45 on the colon hydrotherapy, just go to lifestrengthandhealth.com/88. And before we go, I just want to let you know that this episode was sponsored by HealthWarrior.co. HealthWarrior.co is our private health community. And in our community, it's our mission to help educate, help give you the accountability, support, and guidance to living a more natural and holistic lifestyle, and our members receive so many perks and benefits. So to learn more about our private health community, just go to healthwarrior.co. So once again, thank you for listening. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until next time, live healthier. We want to say thank you for listening to the show and for access to the show notes pages, more podcast episodes, blog content, as well as more information about our center, Life Strength and Health, then just visit us at lifestrengthandhealth.com. Until next time, live healthier.